All right, moving on from that. Thank you, Lauren. Let's get into this week's marketing quick hits, and we're going to be playing a different game. We're going to play good, better, best. So we're going to throw out marketing topics. We're going to give you the execution, a good execution, a better execution, and a best execution.
Alrighty, starting with number 1 for Travis. What is a good example of launching a campaign around a live event?
Okay, good, better, best for launching a campaign around a live event. Good would just be post leading up to that event. Maybe talk about the date, time, and location of the event, and sharing a couple of reminders. Better would be posting about that event 2 to 3 weeks out ahead of time, maybe putting out some weekly reminders, and then using the countdowns or using email reminders to re-engage your audience. And then after the event, post a recap. Best would be to build out a 2 to 3 content runway where you're hitting that event multiple times. You're talking about that event multiple times. Create some teaser content, maybe a little trailer for the event. Put together some speaking highlights or some value-driven posts about what they'll learn at the event. Make it driven behind the actual value that you're going to be delivering in the event. Focus on building some excitement or momentum up towards the upcoming event and make it exciting. Get people interested about what's going on. And make sure you're targeting the right people. So put a plan together where you're putting out content with specific targets so that the right people show up to the event. Then when the event's going on, capture live content, share the key takeaways afterwards, do a full debrief, and make sure you remind them to come back next year.
I love that. Even might even want to do, like, as a follow-up, sending out an email and everything. And you can always, like, this is a huge thing, is that after an event and everything, you might want to send out a survey. Quick 1 or 2 questions. And the number 1 question you want to ask is, would you attend this event again? And would you share this with a friend? Because that, again, just builds up momentum for if the event is happening next year, you're already creating a lead magnet for who could potentially be of interest.
Yeah. And yeah, keep track of who people are that came. Keep track of it if they filled out that survey. The people that did the most, you want to remember, because chances are they'll come back to the event again. And yeah, it doesn't even have to be next year. It could be next month, next week, whenever you do these events. But keep track of who's coming, who's engaging, and make sure you put them on a special list so that you can re-engage with them next time you're running the event.
Yep. Alrighty. Good one for number 1. Alrighty. Number 2, using Instagram Insights.
Okay. Good, better, best for using Instagram Insights. First, a good would just be check the views and the likes that each post gets and just mark down which one gets a lot of views and likes. Better would be tracking the saves, the shares, keeping track of the skip rate by the content type so you know which category of your content is getting saved or skipped more than other categories. Identify some patterns of your top performers. Maybe you identify certain hooks or backdrops that are working well. And then using that information to craft a little bit better posts, maybe when you're posting it or what type of hooks you're using in that post. Best would be to use the entire content fleet, look into what's working, look into optimizing your content and build a system around what's performing well, a system of hooks, a system of backdrops. For example, use your skip rate to update your hooks. So if people are skipping early, tweak your hooks. Use your views over time to improve that retention rate. Find out where people are dropping off in the video. If it's at the beginning, you have a problem with your hooks. If it's in the middle, maybe it's going a little bit too long or you're not being as interesting. You're not actually driving value. So use that to actually adjust the content that you're putting out. Look at the saves and shares to create more value that people would like to save to come back or that they think is valuable or entertaining to share with other people. So learn what content is being shared and saved and start repeating that. And then turn all your winners into a system. Don't just repost that content again. Figure out what made that win and create a system around that so that you can repeat similar content that also wins.
Yeah. Good talk. Yeah. No, I think those are all great points. Alrighty. Number 3, repurposing a long form video.
All right. Good, better, best for repurposing a long form video. Take your long form video and cut 1 to 2 clips out of that into short form so you can post them on Instagram or Facebook. Better would be clipping multiples clips of that video around different moments or hooks. And let's say 5 clips out of that video and sharing them in your stories as well as sharing them on other platforms. And then best would be creating and crafting your long form content with specific purposes in mind to be clipped and to be shared, using that to clip out on other platforms, using that to create 5 to 10 videos, maybe even 2 to 3 blog posts on that, and sending out an email blast with that exact content from the video.
Yep. Love to hear that breakdown. Alrighty. And final one for you, number 4, using AI video tools.
Good, better, best for using AI video tools. Good is just using AI to create a quick visual or B-roll or just testing out a video idea. Better would be using it to create B-roll to add to your existing content and coming up with multiple ideas or multiple hooks for a specific content piece. And best would be using AI for speed, trying to come up with as many hooks, as many visual directions, using it to come up with different script examples, and then amplify the videos that are working well, re-record them with a human element, replace the AI-generated content with original content in front of it, but using AI to improve your workflow and come up with better ideas that sound good.
Yeah, no. And again, the best option like that you just talked about will ultimately save people time and energy and hopefully bring in those higher results that they're looking for.
Yeah. All right, let's flip it around. I'm going to send it over to you, Lauren. What is the good, better, best for promoting a webinar on LinkedIn?
I would say a good example is at least posting once about it on the company page, encouraging people to check out like the reservation link or, signing up right away. A better example is to run a LinkedIn events ad, which we just talked about, which is also establishing a clear call to action, like join thousands of people about to, learn about XYZ. But the best example is to build a full event funnel. So that is kind of pulling off of what you just recently said, where it's like there's a teaser, like there's teaser content, a trailer of some kind. They have clips of the speakers that are going to be there, encouraging other people to join. There's the event ad. There is retargeting ads and emails and targeted emails going out to people who have shown interest in the past, which you should have data on already. And then additionally following that up is like post-event clips. So whoever is the marketing person, like they're capturing live content, they're repurposing it. It can be multiple avenues of content that is published from that. And then a follow-up offer, whether that is be on an early access list, maybe there's a special promotion like right after the event, and just re-engaging the audience that just attended. And an event is not just one post, it is a whole campaign.
Yeah, I think that treating it as a full-on event, full scope, full circle event with before, during, and after is the best thing that you can do with that. Is it's not just a one-time thing. How can you turn this into a lead magnet? How can you turn it into a funnel that is repeatable? How can you actually use this lead that's being generated for this event?
Yeah.
All right. What about good, better, best for creating a product launch?
Yeah. So a good version would just be to announce that the product is available. Like, hey, check this out. A better example would be creating content explaining the problem it solves and why is now the right time to jump on this opportunity. A best example will be to build anticipation before a launch, and this involves creators, small or large, or even customers like testimonials or early access to like loyal customers of some kind. There is definitely an added urgency where it's like limited time offer or a limited time deal, and create social proof as people start buying. So again, you're really engaging the community that is already loyal to the actual company and creating content from them. And ultimately, a launch should create momentum before the product drops. So if you are not sure, if you're testing a couple different things, this is absolutely where you can do trial reels to see what kind of engagement comes from that first. You can do A/B testing to see, again, what kind of content is landing with people before you put a full budget behind the product launch. And yeah, you ultimately just want to encourage people to check it out. So those are just kind of quick, good, better, best of that.
Yeah, make it as fun as you can. I mean, life is short, so just have fun with it. Try and create a ecosystem for the product launch instead of just posting it, talking about it, craft specific branding about it, make the page relevant to the event, the launch that you're doing. Make it some type of moment that is fun that people can follow along with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are your thoughts on a good, better, best for making content easier to share?
That's a good one. So a good example is to create a useful post and add basic calls to action like share this or like this or comment below. Better would be adding a better hook, a simple takeaway, and having some kind of shareable format. Again, this kind of goes back to what we were saying about the YouTube update with being able to do a specific timeshare, create a moment within the actual content to have it be the gotcha moment or a surprise look, whatever it might be, a funny takeaway of some kind. That would be kind of a better example or some kind of, again, takeaway. But the best version, I would have to say, is packaging the content around a moment, phrase, checklist, reaction, or visual that people want to send to someone. So again, not necessarily it's being meme culture, but it's something like that where it's there is a moment within this that wants to be shared with the audience or be shared among other friends and communities. Because if you're friends with someone in marketing and there's a really good takeaway, you're going to want to send it to that person so that you're up on date with everything else. Because at the end of the day, like, shareability is designed. Like, it usually does not happen by accident. Making timely content like the Drafts 57 campaign, people will want to cover that ASAP. So build content people want to associate with. So that is like status, identity, or expertise.
Yeah, I think there's so many people trying to, post videos online. So it's about being relevant in the times. So the NFL draft's coming out. Talk about the NFL draft. The Olympics are coming out. How can you post something around the Olympics? Because people are going to be sharing that, especially sharing who's first, right? If you post about the Olympics 4 months after, cool, that's old news. But definitely that timely part is important.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
All right, now what are your thoughts on the good, better, best for measuring whether a reel video is performing well or worked?
Yes. So a good example is just seeing how many views it got. Like, especially if you're like, there's been many stories of people on TikTok where they're like, I posted this and then all of a sudden it went viral or some kind. And it's like, well, you can see the views, like the views are public. And so that's just, that's great to see, but that's just good. So a better example would be to compare watch times and like shares, saves, skip rate, and comments. Like, a lot of platforms across the board are definitely taking an eye on engagement. So comments are a big one, shares are a big one. So analyzing those two are definitely better metrics to keep an eye on. And then the best would have to be matching the metric to the goal and identify why a post was successful. So like, awareness is reach and shares, education is saves and completion, trust is comments and DMs, and then conversions are clicks, inquiries, and book calls. A viral post can fail if it does not... Wait, 1 second. A viral post can fail if it does not support the business goals. So again, you want a lot of intention going into something, and if it becomes viral, cool. But at the end of the day, something doesn't need to go viral for it to be successful. So again, you really want to keep an eye on those metrics.
Yeah, I think that's like a sign of a confident business owner. A confident business is you have posts that aren't going viral or aren't, successful by the vanity metrics, but you know internally that it's still working because you've tied those to specific business goals. You don't have to have huge numbers. Still can help your business out if you know exactly what some of those things are targeting and what they end up with.
Yeah, niche communities can have big results. Like, again, it's like you don't need the vanity followers, which you just said. It's like it's really about who are commenting, because like I think a lot of people know, especially in marketing, it's like people can buy followers. You can't really buy that engagement. Or if you do see a lot of engagement, double check what it is, because sometimes you can tell that it was bought as well. So again, you want the real audience to connect with what you're doing.